Hey y'all, how you doing? GI Operation on Twitter, coming to you from Wrinkle University. Yeah, I got a million colors on, but anyway, who cares? I don't. Anyway, I want to talk to you guys today about being a thief. You know, if I was to ask you, are you committing a crime? Are you a thief? You know, most people will probably say no. But you know what? I would say absolutely you are. You know, in my daily contacts and talking to people and different things, I'm here today to try to motivate you to stop stealing. Right? Not your ordinary person who breaks in houses, breaks in cars, breaks in stores, things like that, steals from their employers. But I'm talking about stealing from yourself, your community, your loved ones, because all of us have an ability to do something great inside, right? And the thing is, not all of us are actually living up to our full potential. And by doing that, you're stealing not only from me, from your neighbors, but from yourself, your children, your spouses. You know, it's getting to be like a virus, like a plague, like the Ebola virus, for instance, for God's sake. You know, back a couple years ago, they had the swine flu going around. But we have to stop that for this day. You know what you have to do to be successful, right? And you know the things, the goals and dreams that are inside of you that needs to come out, and it needs to get put on actual paper. And you need to start painting your masterpiece. You know, there are many of you guys who are watching this who want to, you know, start a business, right? What are you waiting on? Start it. You know, or there's many people who want to start a business, but they don't know exactly what type of business they want to start. You know what? I was that person. From the early age of about 10 years old, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I remember a family member asked me at the age of 14, Ryan, what is it that you want to do when you grow up? And that person... And I told that person I wanted to be a millionaire. Now, granted, and then their response was, you can't do that. And my response was, well, why not? And you know what? I never really had any more conversation with that person after that, because it wasn't, well, how are you going to get there? Let's lay out a roadmap and a game plan and things like that. It was like, you can't do that. Why? Because nobody else in my family had, was a millionaire that we know of. So that person was trying to steal something from me. It's a good thing that I had positive influences on top of that. Like one of the other videos where that you should watch, that I talked about grave, dang, I can't remember what it was about. I mean, I know what it was about, but I can't remember the title. But it was about landfills and dumping grounds, garbage dump thinking, right? And how they don't just, when they want to build a subdivision or they want to build a mall and it has to go over this garbage dump and landfill, they don't just take all the stuff that's been piled in there for years. They pile it on with good dirt, on top of good dirt, and top of good dirt. And that's how they get that soil up to par to actually build on. And it was a good thing at that time that I had somebody that was a couple people that was putting more stuff back in me. You know, like my grandfather, who always told me, you can do whatever you want to do if that you put your mind to. He always said that if you see somebody else doing it, you can do it. My mom used to always say the same thing. You know, you can do whatever you want to do as long as you put your mind to it. Don't let anybody stop and kill your dreams. Now, what if I didn't have those two people in my life, those main two people in my life telling me that, or school teachers and things like that? You know, I probably would have listened to that person. And while I'm not a millionaire now, but you know what? I'm well on my way. And at the same time, this same person who's actually still living in shell alone, because I believe that that person is very envious of the lifestyle that I've chose. Now, granted, I'm not rich. I don't have a bunch of riches. You know, I'm not driving, you know, a $200, $300, $400, $500,000 car and things like that. But you know what? Day in, day out, I'm working towards my goals. And it took, I want to say, let's see, a good 20 years before I realized exactly what I wanted to do. But I had always done something, right? Maybe that business didn't work out and I just kept going. I knew that the way to get there was to actually own my own and create a company, create a business. And you know what? We have that with Black Folk Hotspots. And that's helping black businesses, you know, get more exposure on the internet and taking, you know, building an audience for them and allowing them to tell us about their stories and their events and things like that, so we can share and add to our business rotation, you know, of their businesses, and creating a black business directory so that more people can know where they're located. And you know what? That's what I actually love to do. I've always been a connector by trade. You know, people have always said, Ryan, you know what? Who do you know to do this? Who do you know to do that? And I would always, you know the person that can get them to where they were trying to get. And about, you know, a few years ago, about 5 years ago, I actually started to create that into an online format. And it's been, you know, doing pretty good since I started that. No matter how many mistakes I've made, it's always seemed to always bounce back, or not even bounce back, but not even lose momentum and lose steam, right? Because number one, I have a bunch of excitement towards it. So you know what? When you're excited about something, other people get excited with you. Had a vice president tell me years and years and years ago, when I was in the financial services industry, you have to walk fast. People don't like to walk. They like to follow a person who seems like they're going somewhere. Even if you don't know where you're going, even if you're going to the bathroom, walk fast. And you know what? He used to get me with that, because I was like, hey, I got a question for you. And he'd be like, okay, follow me. And you know, he would just keep walking. And I will follow behind him, ask him questions, and he would answer the question. You know what? And sometimes, you know, I will follow him to the bathroom. I'm like, are you kidding me? Come on, dude. I'm not about to follow, you know. And it wasn't anything, you know, he wasn't trying to molest me or do anything, you know, freaky or anything like that. That's just that he was on the way. And he always seemed super busy. And in order to get, you know, a couple minutes of his time, you had to follow him and you had to listen. But anyway, I want to tell you guys to stop stealing. And it's the same thing. So when you see those young cats on the street that's out selling dope and doing things illegal and things like that, if you want to tell them something, tell them they're not robbing from, you know, their biggest crime is not stealing, breaking into somebody's house. Their biggest crime is not stealing a car or breaking into a jewelry store. Their biggest crime is